You know, technology is a fascinating thing, isn't it? On one hand, it's this incredible engine for progress, always pushing boundaries and creating things we never thought possible. But on the other hand, it opens up a whole new world of threats we've never had to deal with before. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today by looking at everything that happened on one single extraordinary night. So, let's set the scene. We're talking about one specific day, April 13th, 2026. Just a seemingly ordinary Monday that, it turns out, perfectly captured this high-stakes battle that's always raging in the digital world. So what can really happen in just one night? Turns out, a lot. It reveals this world of incredible breakthroughs on one side and terrifying vulnerabilities on the other, often happening in parallel, at the very same time. I mean, we're going to look at state-sponsored cyber attacks and at the same time, the fall of a massive phishing empire. We'll see the next generation of smartphones being worn while million-dollar crypto heists are going down. It's wild. And all of it in just one night. Let's start on the scary side of that coin. On this night, OpenAI, yep, that OpenAI, one of the biggest names in AI, announced it had been hit by a really sophisticated attack. And the thing is, it didn't target them directly. Instead, it went after the very building blocks of their software. So what even is a software supply chain attack? Okay, imagine this. You're building a car. Instead of breaking into the main factory, you sneak into one of the suppliers, right? Let's say the company that makes the brake pads, and you switch them out with faulty ones. The car factory has no idea. They just keep building thousands of cars with these bad brakes. Well, that's exactly what happened here, just with software code.
And the crazy part is how fast and sneaky this whole thing was. On March 31st, a hacking group reportedly linked to North Korea gets into the account of a key developer for this super popular coding library called Axios. Right away, they published 2 malicious versions. And on that very same day, an automated system at OpenAI just pulls in the infected code, and nobody even noticed for 10 whole days.
And this is where you really see the scale of the risk. That compromised library, Axios, it gets over 100 million downloads a week. Hitting a target like this is like poisoning a river that supplies water to thousands of towns. Now, thankfully, OpenAI caught it before user data was compromised, but wow, what a massive warning shot for the entire industry. Okay, but it wasn't all doom and gloom on the cybersecurity front. While OpenAI was scrambling to deal with that breach, the FBI was dropping some huge news. They had just dismantled a massive phishing-as-a-service platform called W3LL. Now, the W3Well kit was so dangerous because it automated this really sophisticated attack designed to defeat two-factor authentication. Basically, it sits between you and the real website, tricking you into giving up not just your password and 2FA code, but the golden ticket, your session cookie. That cookie lets the attacker just waltz right into your account, no password needed. And this right here, this is the terrifying math of modern cybercrime. For just $500, any low-level criminal could buy access to this powerful kit. The return on that tiny investment? The W3L network targeted over 17,000 victims, attempting more than $20 million in fraud. It's a prime example of crime as a service, and it just massively lowers the bar for anyone to become a serious threat. So the big question is, how do you protect yourself? I mean, the takedown of W3LL is great news, but similar kits are definitely still out there. Beyond the basics like checking the URL, the single best defense against these advanced attacks is upgrading to a physical hardware security key. Seriously, companies that have rolled these out to employees report that phishing attacks drop to virtually zero. It's a game changer. All right, so while all that drama was going on in the security world, the other side of tech's coin was absolutely shining. On the very same night, the hardware world was lighting up with some incredible innovation, specifically in the world of foldable phones. And get this, Huawei just surprised everyone by launching the Pura X Max, the world's first wide foldable, beating Samsung and Apple to the punch. Now, why does this matter? Well, most foldables today are tall and narrow, kind of like 2 TV remotes stuck together. This wide format unfolds into something that feels much more like a mini tablet, making it way better for multitasking and watching videos. It's a fundamental shift in the user experience. And the innovation did not stop there. On the very same night, leaks for another device, the Vivo X Fold 6, started to pop up. And the first showstopper was its main camera, a staggering 200 megapixels. This would be the first time a sensor that powerful has ever been put into a foldable phone.
But honestly, the camera wasn't even the most shocking spec. The leak also revealed the battery size, 7,000 milliamp hours. For comparison, that's over 60% larger than the battery in many competing foldables. This isn't just an improvement, it's a massive leap forward. We're talking multi-day battery life, which was pretty much unheard of in this category. Now let's pivot back to the other side of the coin, where all this advanced technology creates new risks. That same night also brought news of massive data breaches and crypto scams that directly impacted everyday consumers. So, Basic Fit, Europe's largest gym chain, announced a breach affecting 1 million of its members. The stolen data included names, addresses, and even bank account details. The impact was widespread, hitting members all across the continent, and just reminding us that our data is vulnerable even with companies you might not think of as tech. At the same time, authorities were tackling this particularly nasty type of crypto scam. It's called approval phishing. Scammers trick you into signing what looks like a harmless transaction on a fake investment site, but in reality, you're signing a digital contract that gives them permission to drain your entire crypto wallet whenever they want. But here, again, there was a glimmer of hope. An international effort called Operation Atlantic, led by agencies in the UK, US, and Canada, announced a major success. They managed to track and freeze $12 million worth of stolen crypto linked to these scams, identifying over 20,000 victims in the process. So, a supply chain attack, a phishing takedown, hardware breakthroughs, a data breach, and a crypto bust, all from one night. What does it all mean? It really shows we're living in this permanent, unending battle between creation and destruction.
The takeaways from this single 24-hour period are crystal clear. The invisible software supply chain is a primary battleground. This whole crime-as-a-service thing means powerful hacking tools are cheap and accessible. But at the same time, hardware innovation is just accelerating. And our best defense? Well, it lies in international cooperation and, ultimately, our own personal vigilance.
And this leaves us with a final, crucial question. For every brilliant innovation like a 200-megapixel foldable phone, a new vulnerability like the Axios hack seems to appear. It's a constant race. And as the pace of technology gets faster and faster, you have to wonder, is it a race our security can ever truly win?